Hi, everyone. It's Nicole here. And I just want to welcome you to my page. And I hope that you're having a really good day. Here in Australia, it's 8 o'clock in the morning and we're fresh and we're ready to get started. I just want to thank you so much for joining me today. So I am here for the next couple of weeks just to talk about my journey and what's been going on in my life and what actually led me to becoming a digital business owner. So I would love that if you could join me here at 8:15 every morning over the next couple of weeks, except Sunday and Monday. And you'll be able to hear a little bit about me. So today I am talking about my why. Why did I decide to become a digital business owner? If you've met me before, you know that I like to talk and like to tell stories. So I want to go back a fair way. I want to go back about 20 years. I've been a digital business owner for 2 years, but I want to take you back 20 years. So 20 years ago, I got told that it would be pretty unlikely that I could have children. I had about 2% chance, is what the doctors sort of told me. And in my heart, something broke. And I'm quite a determined person. My mum raised me to be a strong, independent woman. And I prayed to God. That's exactly what I did. I got everyone in church to pray. And we prayed, we fasted. I did everything that the doctors said to try and become pregnant. And I don't know if you've ever had something that you've really, really wanted to do, like really, like it's deep seated, like it is all that you think about. Because I've always loved kids and I've always, wanted to have my own. And it was a pretty tough time. And then one day, God blessed me with a beautiful son. It was amazing, just amazing. So grateful that, the doctors are wrong and like my goal was way bigger. Unfortunately, a couple of years later, my marriage broke down. And one thing I didn't want to be was a sole parent. But I was quite determined again not to let this stop me and to be able to be a great role model for my son and to not only help myself, but also help other people out there in the community and other people that went through what I went through. So my son did start going to daycare when he was 5 months old because I live in Sydney and it's expensive. So I needed to bring in income. And I actually don't think that he really missed out on much because I have a great family. Yes, he missed out on having his dad around all the time, but he was still able to do really lots and lots of things. So he was still able to do all the sports he wanted. He used to play soccer and then AFL, and he did Taekwondo Kai, which is a form of martial arts. We would go to the theatre. We would go to parks. We would go with family. We'd go and watch the AFL football. Go Swans on the weekend, by the way. But, I did everything in my ability to let him have a life where he wasn't missing out. And so my focus, like I had great support with family and friends around as well. But my focus was to give him some of the things that I didn't even have. I had a great childhood, really, but just to give him sort of that level that I didn't have. And sorry, I'm just sort of thinking back and the memories are flooding in of some of the things that we did. Like we went to Disneyland and we did some fantastic things. And, I worked my way up in my job. So I was a manager in retail at the age of 20. And then I moved into become a mortgage broker. And then I moved into the university field and worked my way up into many different roles there. And for me in my career, I got to where I wanted to be. I was an associate director at a university. I was looking after all the fun things. And then life really changed for me. So my son, who is the reason for my being, he is the person that I called into existence. I got a phone call while I was at a orientation week. I was presenting to thousands of people at this international student welcome, and my phone kept going off. And at the time, I was in charge of all of orientation, so I thought there was a critical incident on campus because it literally went off 7 times, and everyone knew that I was in this important meeting, one of the most important meetings that I could be in, with the Vice Chancellor of the university. And unfortunately, the critical incident was in my home. It wasn't at work. So for me, my son was being rushed to hospital. So all those phone calls was the school calling me. It was my sister calling me because the school had called her. It was my friend calling me because the school had called her. And my world completely changed that day. My beautiful son, who is so active and had such a zeal for life, he was so cheeky, was being rushed to hospital in chronic pain. They thought that he could be having a heart attack. He was in year 8, by the way. It was the second week of year 8. And like, I was supposed to be doing an interview that afternoon. I was being videoed for an interview to be played nationally with Red Frogs. And, what do? You're there, you're running something, and then you literally, I literally had to drop everything, and I just stopped. And it was like, oh my gosh. So I handed everything over to my team and I rushed to hospital. I would love to say that they found the cause and that my son is perfectly fine now. But that's not the case. So the next couple of years, I spent my time as a sole parent juggling all the different appointments to try and figure out what was wrong. I had specialists, I had pediatricians, I had nutritionalists, I had psychologists. I literally was on suicide watch because he was in pain 24 hours a day. And I'm also trying to juggle a job that I love. We're sole parent, remember, so I need to work to provide for my family. And unfortunately, I'm a little bit too proud. I'm not very good at accepting help or asking for help. But just crisis upon crisis just happened. And work was pretty good. Like, they ended up giving me some really good time off when we had some hospital stays. But I was trying to do everything. I was trying to be a good mum. I was trying to figure out how to help my son. And then I was trying to do work. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy what you put yourself through. Anyway, it came to a breaking point. So the end of 2019, my bosses, we were having a restructure, and they actually came and talked to me to offer a voluntary redundancy. And in one way, the career person and the person that loves what she does is like, I don't want to lose my job. I love what I'm doing. But the mama heart in me is like, I need to do this because I need to be there for him. So at the time, Declan was going to appointments, anything between 4 to 7 times a week, sometimes more. So it gave me that time. And so I finished the end of February 2020, just before the world changed. And I'd set all this stuff up so that I knew that I needed to look after my mental health. I'm someone that loves people and being around people and encouraging people and training people. And so I had all this stuff set up, and then everything closed down and we couldn't do anything. I couldn't get Declan to his appointments. I couldn't get him to the hour of school that they wanted him to go to. I ended up having to homeschool him before everything closed. And I lost myself as well. So not only was my son in chronic pain and we couldn't stop it, there's no way to stop what's going on. But I lost myself in all of that as well. I lost my confidence. I didn't even want to get out of bed. I got out of bed to take him to appointments. And that was all within sort of the not wanting to get out of bed part was within sort of 9 months. And you know what? This business has completely changed my life, because I was at the stage I needed to look for work. I needed to do something else. And I actually went for a job interview for, just an everyday job. And I'm like, how do I travel for 3 hours a day and then 7 to 10 hours a day work, plus look after Declan and take him to appointments? Like, it just makes no logical sense. It doesn't work. And that's when I changed my life. So my why, 100%, or maybe 50% actually, I've realized is my son. I decided to do a digital business for my son. And I also decided to do a digital business for me so that I'd get out of bed and get myself back. Because at the end of the day, it is all about us and our families. And so it's Declan and me that are the most important things in our lives. We have great friends and we have great family. And my family's grown now. I'm no longer a single parent. But I don't want anyone to go through what I've gone through. And so that's why now I do what I do, so I can help people all over the world be stronger, be confident, and have that flexibility that they need. So my why is my son and myself. So that's actually all I'm going to talk about today. And I'm going to talk to you over the next couple of weeks about what else has happened in my journey. I want your help tomorrow with a survey. And I'm really looking forward to sharing with you my transformation from hysterical mum not knowing what to do and where I go from there. So I want to thank you so much for joining me today. And I just really appreciate you all. Have a good day. Bye.